Hello ladies and gentlemen, friends and followers. Welcome back to another live stream of the next BizJet World Tour leg, which is today going from Oradea in Romania to Kiev in Ukraine. We have almost 400 nautical miles to go, which will take us maybe like 1 hour to get to Kiev. Yeah, I didn't prepare anything as usual. I just placed myself on the airport. So let's jump right into the aircraft. The weather is fine today, no clouds, or almost no clouds over the airport. And without further ado, let's jump into the aircraft and start up the aircraft. So turn on the batteries, boss tie, we turn on the generators and the standby power, and we connect external power. Aircraft's running, so first we set the recognition lights and the emergency lights to on. And then what I will do as a second is I will refuel. We need a block fuel of 2,100 kilograms. So let's see, 2,160. So we take 2,184. That's perfect. And then we can already start with the flight plan. So we are departing Oradea or Elrod. We will fly to Kiev, and there should be no departure available. Let it load a little bit, but yeah, as I said, there will be no route available. Yeah. So the wind tells us that we have 200 at 7. So we will depart from runway 19. I cannot select this here. So in that case, as I am not able to select anything, I will just file in the first waypoint, which is rules. And then we have Rumuk. After that we fly direct to India Victor Foxtrot. Wait until it's loaded. Then we fly to Sierra Lima Victor. Should be this one. You can see it on the bearing as well as the distance. And that's it. From there we will start our arrival procedure, which will be the Sierra Lima Victor 3 November. There it is, for runway 26. We load that in, and then we choose the approach for ILS 26. Transition is none, so we can load that in, and that's it. We're done. So that's a nice feature, so to say, of the aircraft. We can like program the GPS really fast. Yeah, so speedbugs. We rotate will be today 117. Set that here as well, 117. We check the northwards to GPS. Check the weather once more. No clouds above the airport, which is considered any difficult. We have an outside air temperature of +8 degrees, so there is no problem for us for icing. We don't need anti-ice for departure. Let's check. Engines are idle. Flaps up. APU still off. Auto brake, parking brake is set. We don't have a departure route there, so we will fly runway heading. And according to the charts, we don't have any like obstacles around, so we will fly runway heading until we pass like 1,000 feet or something, or 1,500 maybe, and then we turn direct to the first waypoint, which is rules. Yeah, and that's basically it. I will just select all the approaches for my Navigraph charts app, and then we are basically ready to go. So setup is already done. Let me check if I have everything. I am connected to the IVAO network. I'm visible on the Wi-Fi, so that's important as well. So the flight tracker works properly, and that's basically it. So let's check. It's real time, it's live weather. 11:08 UTC, that's fine as well. Let me check the surroundings. Okay, so we don't need a pushback. We can taxi out directly. And as I said, we will depart runway 19er. So that means we will depart this way. We will depart from here down there. Okay, so let us start up the APU. %. You can, I don't know if you can hear it in the background. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. There you can hear it. The APU's running up. And now the APU is available. So turn down the volume a little bit. See, APU is 100%. We can disconnect the external power. And we will connect the APU generator, of course. And we are ready to go. So we can start now the engines. Start engine number 2. It's running up. Turn this on already. Anti-collision lights on. Close the security flap. And you can see engine number 2 is running. So we have no ATC, we have no other traffic at the moment here in Oradea, and we have also just one aircraft which just landed at Kiev, so there is no other inbound at the moment, so it will be a quiet flight again. And we can now start the engine number 1. And start. Now we will get a message that the speed brakes are not armed. What happens if I turn that on here? Should be turned on here as well. Okay, perfect. So, we need a wind component here. And set the timer. Spoilers disarmed, parking brake is set. So we will arm the spoilers. Engine number 1 is stable. So we are ready to taxi. Turn on the taxi lights. And I hope to miss this person with my wing. Release parking brake. No, I won't miss him. But hey, it's not my fault. Oh, that was close. And what I like about this airport is that you don't have any taxi time at all. So, we are on the runway. We just checked there's no other traffic inbound. So we will turn on the lights. We will turn on the transponder mode. We will set flaps 1 for departure. Flaps 1. And then we will backtrack on runway 19er. Check once more. Right is clear. Left is clear. We will now set up the autopilot because we have some time left here on the runway. .250. Set the altitude. Cruise flight level is 410 today as well as all the other days. Set the flight directors on, or actually we don't need the right side. Oh well, let it on. We will have a climb rate of 2,600 to begin with. Yeah, I know, I just touched the brakes a little bit. So the spoilers immediately disarmed. We need to remember to set on the pilot heat. But I just read that you're just allowed to turn it on like 1 or 2 minutes before the departure, because if you turn it on the ground, I don't know, maybe it's heated too much or whatever. Need to dig myself further into that. Okay, so runway 19er, we're set. Spoilers armed. Pilot heat on. Anti-ice is not required. We have all the lights on. Flaps are set for departure. We have transponder mode on Squawking Charlie, and we are ready for departure. Center lined, and start and take off. Engines running up smoothly, so full thrust. And we gonna depart. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Auto thrust on. Continue to climb 1,000 feet, and then we turn on the autopilot. Flaps up. And there we are. Departure time, by the way, was 11:16. So I will note that down. 11:16 UTC departure in. And I just noticed that I didn't write down the departure and landing time on my note sheet here, but well, it's not that important. I reported it on the system. Hi Jeremy, just in time for takeoff. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. I just already missed you. I was wondering where you are, because I thought you are flying. And yeah, this is the scenery of Romania, by the way. It looks very nice, I think. Very beautiful. And we will now, as we are stable, we can climb via flight level change. And we're climbing with now 6,600, 6,700 feet per minute, but I heard from a real pilot that this is absolutely normal for this aircraft. I didn't know that, but well, that's how it is, actually. So we're passing 10,000 already, lights off, and we can increase the speed. 305. And we are on the route. We have a headwind of 50 knots again. And we're climbing. So the official information is that it takes 20 minutes for this aircraft to climb to cruise altitude flight level 430. And I turned on the flight level change button a little later. Also, we are not flying VY, which would be 270 knots. We're flying a little faster. So if the information is correct, and if this aircraft is like close to real one, then we should reach flight level 430 at around like 25 minutes into the air. But if I see that, I think it's going to be faster. Of course, Jeremy, you're always there, so if you're not, I'm wondering where you are. I wouldn't say I miss you, but of course I'm wondering where you are. Especially if I see that you're generally online. That's gonna be interesting. I was busy with my plane, not doing what I wanted to do. Well, are you flying A321 again, or are you flying the... let me check. You are flying A321, yeah, of course. What else? Oh yeah, I can see it on your route. Very good. 6 minutes in the air already at flight level 300. And oh, by the way, again, I forgot to set the standard altimeter to 90902. Set that here as well. I can turn to Mach now. Let's leave it for Mach 0.80. So you can see that the climb rate already decreased a lot from 5,000 where we were before to 2,800 now. I will maintain Mach 0.80 for the climb, and I will increase it to Mach 0.82 when we are on cruise. So we will tune the range a little out. Oops, out, not in. So we can see the route better. 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes in the air, flight level 350. And I'm quite sure if we would climb with 270 knots, we would climb a lot faster. Flight level 365, so we definitely won't need 20 minutes. Although we are not climbing to flight level 430, just 410, but as I said, on the other hand, I checked the flight level change a little later, so if I checked it earlier, it would have saved us a lot more time, especially because we reached flight level 100 earlier, so we could have increased the speed, and with the speed we could have increased the climb rate earlier as well. Autopilot just said, nope, I'm gonna turn to the left now and you can do anything about it. Well, you can always disconnect the autopilot, can't you? Alex is asking when this tour is taking me to the US. Oh, that will take somewhat more time because we're going eastwards. Let me see. So from Ukraine we go to Turkey, then we start our journey into East Africa, where we then fly more to the east to La Réunion and Seychelles, Maldives, India, Thailand, Indonesia. Then we are in Australia, and then we cross the Pacific, come to South America, and then like 48 will be the first one bringing me into US, which will be Opa-locka Executive Airport. From there we're going to Teterboro, Chicago Executive, Dallas Executive, Sedona, Norman, Mineta, San Jose International Airport, Victoria, then Merrill Field, Nome Airport, and then we are out of the US again, flying to Russia, South Korea, China, going back to Poland, over Poland to Sweden. So like 48 will be the first one, and that will take a lot of time. I think if I fly one leg every day, well, we still need like more than 30 days until we reach US airspace. And we reach flight level 410, and we are 13 minutes in the air. Well, not exactly, I started it earlier as well. So we're even in the air like for, I don't know, 12.5 minutes. Increase the speed now to Mach 0.82. Yeah, about 25 flights in Asia and Africa, that's gonna be the boring part. Well, it depends, Jeremy. The boring part, I wouldn't say that. Africa is, I think, or can be a beautiful country. So, of course, I won't have any ATC. But on the other hand, I didn't have any ADC here on IVAO as well, except for, I think it was Paris. So, well, yeah. And Alex is going to control for me. Well, that's fine. Alex, you can join my Discord channel. You can see the link to the Discord in the subscription below. And I can then announce there when I'm gonna do my next flights. So at the moment I'm doing the flights at around 11 UTC, which is my lunch break. But of course I don't know if this will continue like that in the future. So if you join my Discord, I can announce when I'm gonna fly the next legs. And then you can prepare yourself, of course, for the airports. And there he is. That was fast. Hi, Alex. Welcome to my Discord server. Let me wave for you as well. Oh, that's not waving. That doesn't look nice. No, no, no. And also, Alex, you're the first member on the Discord channel, besides Jeremy, of course, who's moderator, so he was there for the first time, but let's not count him. So he's the starter of the Discord channel as well, so I don't count him as fresh member. Yeah, and we are on cruise now. Cruising over the winterly Romanian airspace. Actually, we just left Romania and joined Ukraine already. We're just across the border. And I will now check for the approaches, for the different approaches into Kiev, or I'll just check my approach first, because I don't think there will be any change. So we are flying the Sierra Lima Victor. Actually, let me show you the charts. The Sierra Lima Victor. I cannot extend this. Well, let me see if this is working. No. Okay, then I have to click them one by one. Here it is. Solovivka. Solovivka. Okay. Here it is. Solovivka, 3 November arrival. Arnov arrival for runway 26. So, we will come from Solovivka over here. I don't know if this is pronounced correctly or not. We are now flying in metric airspace, so we don't have like flight levels, but we have a metric system. And we need to cross Solovivka at 7,060 meters or above. And I just need to find a conversion where I can convert the meters into feet. I mean, of course, I could do that here. So that should be 700 meters is 2,000, so it should be flight level 230, more or less. Because I think I cannot change it into metric. Normally you can change this when pressing the altitude knob, but I don't think this is working. No, it's not. Let me no, aircraft system is just lighting configuration. Nope. No way to change to metric pressure. So I need to find Google to convert it. 7,060 meters in feet will be 23,162. So I said roughly flight level 230. So if we cross at flight level 235, we will be absolutely fine. Yeah, Alex, I heard about webhook bots, but actually I'm not very familiar with the bot system, so I need to find out how that works and how to add the bot to my Discord channel. But I will do that very soon. So as you just saw, you're the first member who joined, so the Discord server is absolutely new. And but yeah, I will figure it out anytime soon, and then I will do that as well. So of course I will still do the announcement like one day before, or at least a few hours before, so that you have enough time to join. So, but continue on the charts. After Solovivka we have 37.1 nautical miles until we cross KKS-01. Then we have another 7.8 nautical miles to cross to reach KK630, where we need to be at actually feet meter conversion. Actually, these numbers here are feet. It's not meters, it's feet. So that you can see here, if the controller gives you like descent 2000 meters, then you know that you are between 760 feet and 70, 60 feet or 60, 70 feet. So it's somewhere in between. So I would descend to flight level 65 for that, because I don't have any possibility to change that. Okay, so just forget what I just told you about conversion. It's not flight level 230. It's flight level 70. And from there we will continue to descend to flight level 30, and then we will join the ILS on 2,300 feet or above. So for that we need to check the ILS localizer to 6. So we will start at platform altitude 2,300 meters, and then we will start our descent with a descent angle of 3 degrees. So that's fine for us. I just now need to check the Solovivka VOR, which is 113.3. I set that in. Then I have the distance, and then I can calculate on how much I have to descend. So Solovivka is at 113.3. So let us check that in here. 113.3. Make that active, and then I want to have bearing 2, nav 2. No data yet, so we just wait until we have that in. And I will also check here VOR, the nearest VORs. Let it load. I don't know if this is working in others. Yeah, it is. Let me see if the VOR is already in there. But I don't think, I don't think it is. Okay, so select waypoint, Solovivka, enter, and we have 2. It's this one, of course, 215 nautical miles. So for the descent, I want to be at flight level 70 over Solovivka, and we are at 41, so that makes it 34,000 feet to descend. Times 3 makes it 102. So we need to start our descent at 102 nautical miles before Solovivka, and then we descend with a 3 degrees descent rate to reach Solovivka in time. Our ground speed says 450, so that makes it 2,250 feet per minute as a 3 degrees descent rate. And we will, as usual, start our descent a little earlier, so say 130 nautical miles, or maybe 125, and then we descend with a descent rate of just 1,500 feet or something like that. We could descend steeper, but I think it's better for the passengers. I mean, climb is not as important about, you know, the ear problem, pressure problem in the ears. But for descent, I just want to descend a little slower than we could do. By the way, we can turn off the APU. Don't need that at the moment. Actually, the region here looks very beautiful. The countryside, I mean. Very beautiful. I heard it a lot of times that like Eastern Europe is beautiful, like Romania, Ukraine, where we are at the moment, but also like Belarus and Serbia, Montenegro, all the countries over there, Moldova, Bulgaria, Belgrade, they should all be very nice, but I've never been there actually. I don't know, it's not like... hard to say, it's just that this region doesn't pull me to it. I'm more like the Southern Europe holiday guy. Beach and sea. That's what I need. Warm weather and a lot of sun. And we will have a look over here, 180 nautical miles. So we are already close to the descent. By the way, the next waypoint the next leg is going to Turkey, to Antalya International Airport, which will be 810 nautical miles. Will be the longest flight we did so far, and it will take us around, I don't know, 1 hour 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours. No, I don't think it's that long actually. I'll just try to figure out how long it will take. Oh, maybe it is 2 hours actually. Well, we will see. We will see. So the next lecture is gonna be difficult for me to do, at least if I want to do it in my lunch break, because my lunch break is just 2 hours. So, yeah. But I will see. Maybe I will do it in the evening. Maybe I will do it. I don't know. We will see. According to the WebEye, we are almost more than halfway through the route. We have another 23 minutes to go. And our GPS tells us that we have 140 nautical miles to go to, what was it? Solovivka. So we will soon start our descent into Kiev. Look at that. A little bit snowy here as well. Just 10 nautical miles to go, so I will stay here on this screen right now, just to have to not miss the point. Because I know if I now switch the scene again, then I will forget about the descent point. And I can start to turn in the new altitude, as I said, flight level 70. Or I'll actually make it 7,500. Yeah, 130. So we can start our descent, 1,400 feet per minute. So where is this light circle coming from? Why is it round? I don't understand that. I mean, I really love the light and shadow textures in the flight simulator, but I don't understand why this is round. So maybe it's, I don't know. I don't care. And we also can see that we now reached Solovivka here, 125.2. This one says 123.4. So this is a little bit, like, you know, delayed, but it's definitely the same VOR. So we can go back here. We don't need it anymore, because for checking the altitude and the distance, we can use this one at the moment. Or from now on, not at the moment, because we won't lose it anymore. So I will check at flight level 270 again. If we descend, or if we continue to descend like that, because of flight level 270, I have to descend another 20,000 feet. Makes it 60 miles. So we need to be at, when we cross flight level 270, we need to be of a distance of 60 nautical miles or more. If we are at 60, then we need to increase the descent rate to match it a 3 degrees descent path. If we are more than 60 nautical miles away, then we can leave it like it is, and if we are less than 60 nautical miles away, then we need to increase it even further than just the 3 degrees. Our ground speed tells us 480, makes it 240, so we would need to descend with 1,000 feet per minute more. So what we do, because the descent point for the 3 degrees would be right now, so we are already more than 4,000 feet ahead. So we saved like 5 minutes flight already. Hope that makes sense what I just said here. I think that looks quite fine here. We will reduce the speed a little bit to Mach 0.81 just to be a little more away from the overspeed part. I can check the weather radar because there are a lot of clouds below us, but there's nothing there which would be a factor for us. So actually I think that this is a little like 1 mile off, I think. Roughly 1 mile, maybe a little less. Because you can see here the distance staying the same. And this one here is always like 0.7 nautical miles behind. And I don't know how to start this time. I have to Google that afterwards if I do not forget it. Because every flight I remember that I don't know how to start the timer, and then I want to look it up and I forget it every time. Every time. So actually I think it's gonna be close with the 60 nautical miles. So I will already increase it a little bit. Let's say to 1,800. would need to descend with 2,300 at the moment. Reduce the speed to Mach 0.80. And we will now switch back to indicated mode 305. We can now change the speed box, so we have approach today at 118. Same here, 100. Oops, no, not 108, 118. Yep. Okay, and okay. 42 minutes in the air. Yeah, and I need to increase the rate of descent. You can see that here we are perfectly fine for the descent at the moment, but we need to increase it even further. 2,200 should be fine because our ground speed is decreasing as well. 2,200 feet is still not, like, you know, still not bad for the passengers. It's still fine, but of course it's not as good as fine as the 1,500 would be. So see, we are at a distance of 60 nautical miles and we are passing flight level 270. So we're perfectly fine for the moment, but I increased it now to match it 33 degrees descent path, and as you can see also the ground speed is reducing as well. So for the moment we would need to descend with 2,150 feet per minute, and it's decreasing, so we will be fine. Can even reduce that again. Ground speed is still reducing, that's fine. So I can turn that up to 1,800 feet per minute, because as I said, it's continued to reducing as lower we get, and also according to the charts we need to be above flight level 70, so it doesn't matter if we are at flight level 70 or 80, and after that we still have another 45 nautical miles to descend from where we are at Solovivka to the next waypoint. So that's absolutely no problem. And I don't like these clouds there. It's so... I don't know what's going on there. Absolutely don't know what's going on there. And actually, you know what? I try something. Okay, where are the clouds? Okay, there you go. Okay, there's absolutely no change. Absolutely no change. Well, absolutely no change at all. So I can leave it on ultra. Okay, let me check the approach here to Kiev. No controller online. QNH is 1015. I will check that. QNH 1015 hectopascal in inches. Uh, 1015 will be 29997. Okay. And we don't have any ATC, nor do we have any other aircraft, so we can tune that in already. 29997. Normally you just do that by passing the transition level, but as there is no other aircraft and no controller online, I can change it already because we won't stop the descent before passing a flight level. And even if we are, like, 300 feet below or above our assigned, or well, it's not assigned, our chosen flight level, it doesn't really matter because there's no other traffic, and especially no ATC. And we start to reduce the speed because we need to be 250 knots or less until or at flight level 100. And I can also make a quick fuel check. At Solovivka we should have 1.2 tons of fuel on board. And if I check here, we have 1.3 on board. We're not yet at Solovivka, but the fuel is fine. Can zoom in a little bit. 12 miles to go. Now we continue to reduce the speed to 50 knots. Or actually I will go down to 45 so that we are really below 250 once we pass flight level 100. And that's fine. Reach it even at before flight level 110. Passing level 100, we turn on the lights again. We have 4.5 nautical miles to go for Solovivka. Now we'll check the charts again. So for the next waypoint, we will have a maximum of 220 knots and be above flight level 30, or at or above flight level 30. So I will turn down the altitude to flight level 30. So I just passed Solovivka. Funny thing is, according to the chart, I'm not yet above that. So the charts, okay, they are not to scale. Okay, that's what it says. Okay. Fine. Let me see. Clear that. And I now need to check the ILS frequency just to be sure it's 108.3. So we'll check the nav and radio. It's 108.3. It's not yet set, so I will just do that to be sure. 108.3. And we also want to have nav 1 over here. No data yet because we're a little far out to receive the ILS. And there we go. We don't need to descend that much, so I reduced it to 1,200. Now we'll change the map mode to to heading up, so we can see better what's coming in. So we have 27 nautical miles to go for like 2,000 feet. And we will make that easily. And after the approach, we will have a long landing because there's no taxiway out. Except on the end of the runway, on both sides, by the way. So, actually, let me check the wind again. It's 300 degrees with 7 meters per second. So we will vacate at the end of the runway, so this will be a long landing today. So I think I will even land without reversers. Don't need them. But of course it depends on when I will touch down. And then and then we just taxi to the apron. And we are in front of a big cloud. Outside temperature is -2, so I will just turn on the engine and wing anti-ice. Just to make sure we won't hit any ice. And we are already at 3,000. That was a bit early. You can see we just need to be on 3,000 feet. The waypoint we need to be at 3,000 or above is not even on the display yet. So if I zoom out a little bit more, so here KK630, we need to be at 3,000 or above. So, but well, better to be early than too late. And you can see it's quite windy here. Can now increase the speed again to 250 knots. Still no ATC, of course. I'm the master of timing, had some things to do, so sorry for not being there in flight. Well, no problem. Alex was there as well, and I was busy planning the descent and the approach, so don't worry. I didn't even miss you, Jeremy. didn't even recognize you. We're not there. And noticed, not recognized, noticed. So once we pass the KKS 01, I will start to reduce my speed to 220 knots. And I will also start to check the aircraft, so we have the lights all on. Transponder mode is of course still Charlie. Parking brake is still released. Spoilers are still on. APU is off. We need to remember that, because once we touch down and we're safe, we can start the APU. So it's available on the apron. We have set the speedbacks at 118. Speedbacks at 118. And there's another aircraft you can see on the TCAS here on the map. which is I think departing the other airport of Kiev, Borispil, and he's flying to Praha. Still have the ice protection on, as we have a -3 degrees outside temperature, and we have clouds here, so if we would receive some icing now on the aircraft, on the wings, that would be no good at all. I think over there is the city of Kiev. Yep. I will now start to reduce the speed. It's a little bit shaky out here, so let's change the speed to 10 knots, so we just have more more space to 220, because we might get some increase of the airspeed due to wind changes or gusts or something like that. And so yeah, Jeremy, let's reactivate the next to the center line and introduce Master of Butter landings. Well, sounds nice, but I think one is enough. But I think we can remember the Master of Butter landings, and if I ever manage to land on the center line, then we could use Master of Butter landings to have a goal of, like, I don't know, -20 feet per minute or -10 feet per minute for landing. But that will be a long time until I match that, at least with this aircraft. I think if I would fly Airbus or something, that would be no problem. I mean, of course, it would be a problem, but it would be easier than with this aircraft here. So we are now crossing the next waypoint. We have a speed of 210 knots. That's perfect. We are above flight level 3000. And then for the next one, we want to be at 2,300 feet. Oops, so 2,300 feet to begin the ILS. Descend with 600 feet per minute, should be enough. Yeah, that's true. The tour is really long enough. That's true. I have a lot of different airports and weather conditions to train for the best landing. And again today, the wind is quite heavy. We have wind of, let's see if it changed or not, 308 meters per second. And that would mean that we have like somewhat around 24 knots or something, I think. Wait, is it? No, meter per second to knot is twice, isn't it? I don't know, I can't remember. Might be 50 knots as well, but still, it's a lot. So navigation mode is changed now to Nav 1. We have the localizer alive, and we also have the glide slope here, which is not yet alive, of course. So I will click the approach button, and the aircraft should now center the center line here, which the aircraft has sometimes a problem with, because I noticed in the last streams that I rarely come down to the center line. I need to always correct correct the approach a little bit, and you can see right now as well we are off to the right of the center line, so I need to correct that again, and that's always not that easy actually. I could set a heading mode to go back to the center line, because it will capture the center line by itself. See, there's the runway over here. Zoom, zoom, zoom. There is the runway, and we will locate down here on the last end of the runway. And by the way, I just noticed I overfly the localizer, so it won't delete the heading knob and capture the approach. And the glide is also alive now, so click approach mode. And we will reduce the speed now. Whoops, not zoom out, reduce the speed. 130 knots. Yeah, absolutely correct. Jeremy just said 1 meter per second is round about 2 knots. So 15 knots or something. Okay, I'm absolutely not coming in on the center line. I'm perfectly fine on the glide though. We will set flaps 1, gear down. Yeah, it looks beautiful, definitely. But the winter textures here, you can see there is no road anymore, it's just snow. And that's a big problem on the flight simulator. Because sometimes this happens on runways as well, and then you cannot see any taxiway, any runway, nothing. Reduce speed to our final approach speed of 118. Flaps full and manual control. We're coming in way too right, so that's an autopilot problem, definitely. We have no puppies, so that will be a full manual landing. So there is no center line here visible. Maybe it will come later, but it's gonna be hard to land at the center line if there is no. Oh, there is one. And we're on the ground. We use the reversers. 2 degrees to 60 knots. That's it. So we're now rolling off. I don't use any brake at the moment. And now we start to brake. So we are lucky that there is just light snow on the runway, not much. And I'm happy that I have the screen down here where you can see the taxiway better, because you can see here you don't even know where the taxiway is. So well, yeah, you can't see center. No, well, you can see the center line very light, but yeah. So APU, squawk standby, landing lights off, taxi light keeps on, pulse lights off as well. Stop the timer, and landing time 12:25. And we are at the apron. We are crushing that car here. Bam! And then we will just clean up the flaps. Flap 0. And we just take any gate to the right side here. I use this one here to see the center line. So we just use this one here. And I think that's it. Parking brake is set. APU is running, so APU generator is on. We can now turn off the anti-ice and the pilot heat, and we can turn off the engines. Because we have the APU available. It's fine. We can turn off the taxi lights, of course. We don't need the anti-collision lights anymore because engines are off. Fuel boost pump off. Flight director approach mode and flight director co-pilot side is off. Well, you see, nothing happened to the car. It's gone. So the car is absolutely fine. No, that's a fire truck. I think it's weird. Every time I land, there is a fire truck going around somewhere. That's really weird. And also the placing of the lights here is also very weird. It looks like the guy who placed it was drunk. It's here's one and over there's one and, well, very strange. What is this? Oh! There is my pushback guy. He made it even faster than me. Oh, strange guy. Okay, well, anyway, I made it to Kiev, which is the capital of Ukraine. Next tour leg will be into Turkey to Antalya International Airport. The next leg will be the longest leg we did so far, but it won't stay that very long because there will be some other legs coming soon which will be even longer. And yeah, so we are done for today. Thank you very much for watching the stream or the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, just leave me a thumbs up here. That will help YouTube to sort my videos into the algorithm, and of course it will also help me. If you haven't done so, click the subscribe button and click the bell so you won't miss any other live stream of me. And yeah, Jeremy, Tower sees, oh, the German flight simmer is coming, let's better have the trucks on standby. Yeah, that's what I thought. Then they see I'm landing and then they're gone. Yeah, well, thank you very much, guys, for watching. And yeah, as I just said, I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see, I'm not sure if I will do the next flight tomorrow in my lunch break. If yes, then you can expect me to be online at around 10:30 or 11 UTC. Yeah, so that was the next leg, and I wish you a pleasant, what is it, Wednesday? I think so. Yeah, it's Wednesday. So I wish you a pleasant Wednesday, and I hope to see you guys next time soon. Bye bye.